Hello makers, I'm here with more inspiration for the Whimsy Stamps Halloweeners design team. So I want to apologize first off for my voice today. I made these cards a little while back and am just finishing the editing and the voiceover, and I caught a cold on our anniversary trip to Disneyland. So my voice sounds a little different today, and I apologize in advance. Today I'm going to be making three cards because there are three images on this adorable Pumpkin Kitties stamp set. So there's this pile of kitties and then two kitties that are in pumpkins, along with just some pumpkin spice and October sentiments. So I'm going to be using also the Barnyard elements. I thought that this stack of kitties would go great in the barrel for Barnyard elements. And not only do the pumpkin kitties have dies that go with them, but the Barnyard elements also have dies. So that's going to make today's make very quick. I also reached for the Quick Card Fronts Grunge Ghosts. Awesome backgrounds, love them. And I thought these kitties would go great in these different scenes. And so I picked that one and I picked this one for this kitty in the pumpkin, kind of looking over at one of the little ghosts. And then this one I picked because of the fence. And so I'm actually going to be covering that ghost up with the stack of kitties, and then the barrel will go underneath them. So you really won't see those pumpkins and the ghost in the background. And then I'll be using a couple of these sentiments from the Quick Card Friends. I love that they come with sentiments as well. It makes card making so fast and easy. So let's get making. All right, so off screen, I stamped everything in black soot archival ink and colored it with distress watercolor pencils. I stamped more things than I probably will need, and that's because I don't want to have to go back and do that step all over again. So now that they've all been colored and stamped, I'm going to go ahead and use my um, die cuts for each of them and cut out all of these elements so that I'm ready to go ahead and put them on my card fronts and we'll have finished cards. Now that all my pieces are cut out, I have laid them on the card fronts and I also cut out the card fronts. So the quick card fronts are just A2 sized cards. And so I have cut them all out just a little smaller than an A2. This one I did with the zigzag rectangles die, and it may look like it's going to cut a frame, but actually it's cutting in some stitched areas. So some zigzag stitching on that one. And on this one, I also used a card from Cardstock Warehouse. This is their Onyx Black cardstock. And I cut the wonky stitched rectangle on this one. So again, it looks like it's going to be cutting a frame, but that's just to hold the stitched uh, dies, the area that cuts down into the card to make a stitched outline. And then this one I used already earlier on a quick card front. This is the treasure map die from a few years ago. It was released with a pirate release. And I love the way it just gives it an old, cracked, worn look. So you can use any of these dies all three times. I just wanted to give you some options and let you see what they look like on three different cards. So then I'm going to be using these. These are the sentiments that come with the quick card fronts. You get two colors, the same sentiments on each set of the sentiment cards. And so I've chosen two. I'm going to use an orange one on this one, and I'm going to use a gray one on the other one. And I'm just going to kind of cut them out and put them a little wonky, so they're not going to be straight. So on this one, I have a craft cardstock base. I have the, oh goodness, I forgot the name of that. Anyway, it's the orange cardstock from Cardstock Warehouse. And I have gone around all of the cards and cardstock bases and all of that with black soot distress ink. And I've also gone around all of my little pieces, the outlines, and made them a little bit gray so that they fit with the ghosts. I didn't want them bright white, so I put them so that they would match the grunge ghosts. Now, not only did I go around the outside of the cards with black soot ink, but I also went over all the stitching, and you don't have to do this, but I went over all the stitching with a fine tip black archival ink pen. And then this one I just went around with my black soot distress ink and made sure that all those cracks and crevices really stood out. Now I have the sentiments cut out for both of these cards, and so I'm going to show you. I out of the gray I cut "'Tis the Night of Spooky Delights," and then out of the orange I cut "'Tis the Season to be Spooky." And I just cut that one into two pieces, and I cut all the words apart for the gray one. So now it's time to start assembling. So let's go ahead and get our glue out. And I picked this one because it's going to be really quick. I have that onyx card base from Cardstock Warehouse. I'm just going to go ahead and put that card base on there. And then I popped the little kitty up so that it kind of has a 3D look to it. And then you can see I just cut those words out and I'm just sticking them on not straight. I don't want them straight. And look how fast that was. I mean, I know I sped this up, but really these all went together so well. So this next one I have a craft card base. I have some orange from Cardstock Warehouse for a little mat. And I have popped up everything. I have the kitties popped up and covering that ghost. I have the sentiment popped up in the corner, and I used one from the stamp set. Is it October yet? And then the barrel from Barnyard Elements. And now I'm just going in with all those little, from the Pumpkin Kitties, there are those three leaves and then you can cut them out. So I just stamped a whole bunch, colored a whole bunch, and I am sticking them in the barrel and on the ground around and behind the barrel, just as a fall card. So this isn't particularly Halloween. This could be any time. And if you didn't put October as a sentiment, you maybe put autumn or something, that could go into Thanksgiving, that card, and because you've covered up the ghost. So perfect for all the way through fall. Now this one I was going to have the kitty laying on some boards because I just thought that's something that a cat would do, but I just couldn't get it to look right. So I just popped that cat up right there in front of the pumpkins and that little stone piece, and I'm adding a few more leaves here and there. And then I have the sentiment up there at the top, and really that was it. They really were fast. And again, I know I sped it up a little bit so that you didn't have to watch me pulling the sticky off of the back of all of the foam dots, but really it just went so, these three went together so very quickly, and I just thought they're so cute, and I had a great time. I love this one with the little foot, a little toe bean sticking out there, so adorable and just kind of looking like it's behind me, isn't it? And this one again with the "it's behind me" look as it's peeking out from the pumpkin. So adorable with those little sweet little ghosts in the background and all the pumpkins. And I just love that the quick card fronts come with the sentiments already printed, and all you have to do is choose the one you want and either die cut it or fussy cut it out yourself. So oh, and then I just love this one, really for any time of year, right? So all that beautiful fall foliage peeking in from the bottom right corner with the pumpkin and then the leaves. And, again, you could choose any sentiment to, bring this card into the Thanksgiving season as well. Well, I know I've said it before, but it's the truth. These cards went together really, really quickly, and I had such a great time making them. Hope you enjoyed this video, one of the last for the season. And so thank you so much for watching and all your support during the Halloween season for Whimsy Stamps. And as always, all the information is in the description for today's video. You can see the stills on my blog. And with that, I want to wish you a very creative day.